and then another orange desert, Thule 1 or 2. And so I did. "Poots verified our position a week and a half ago," grumbled the captain. "Let's get to the point." "Coming," remarked Jarvis. 20 miles into Thule, believe it or not. I crossed a canal. "Poots photographed 100. Let's hear something new." "And did he also see a city?" "20 of 'em, if you call those heaps of mud cities." "Well," observed Jarvis, "from here on I'll be telling a few things Poots didn't see." He rubbed his tingling nose and continued. "I knew that I had 16 hours of daylight at this season, so 8 hours, 800 miles from here, I decided to turn back. I was still over Thule, whether 1 or 2 I'm not sure, not more than 25 miles into it. And right there, Poots's pet motor quit." "Quit? How?" Poots was solicitous. "The atomic blast got weak. I started losing altitude right away, and suddenly there I was with a thump, right in the middle of Thule. Smashed my nose on the window, too." He rubbed the injured member ruefully.
"Did you maybe try washing their combustion chamber with acid sulfuric?" inquired Poots. "Sometimes their leads gives a secondary radiation."
"Nah," said Jarvis disgustedly. "I wouldn't try that. Of course, not more than 10 times. Besides, the bump flattened the landing gear and busted off the underjets. Suppose I got the thing working. What then? 10 miles with the blast coming right out of the bottom, I'd have melted the floor from under me." He rubbed his nose again. "Lucky for me, a pound only weighs 7 ounces here, or I'd have been mashed flat." "I could have fixed," ejaculated the engineer. "I bet it was not serious." "Probably not," agreed Jarvis sarcastically. "Only it wouldn't fly. Nothing serious. But I had my choice of waiting to be picked up or trying to walk back. 800 miles, and perhaps 20 days before we had to leave. 40 miles a day. Well," he concluded, "I chose to walk. Just as much chance of being picked up, and it kept me busy." "We'd have found you," said Harrison. "No doubt. Anyway, I rigged up a harness from some seat straps, and put the water tank on my back. Took a cartridge belt and revolver and some iron rations, and started out." "Water tank?" exclaimed the little biologist Leroy. "She weigh 1/4 ton." "Wasn't full. Weighed about 250 pounds earth weight, which is 85 here. Then, besides, my own personal 210 pounds is only 70 on Mars, so tank and all, I grossed 155, or 55 pounds less than my everyday earth weight. I figured on that when I undertook the 40-mile daily stroll. Oh, of course I took a thermoskin sleeping bag for those wintry Martian nights." Off I went, bouncing along pretty quickly. 8 hours of daylight meant 20 miles or more. It got tiresome, of course, plugging along over a soft sand desert with nothing to see, not even Leroy's crawling biopods, but an hour or so brought me to the canal. Just a dry ditch about 400 feet wide and straight as a railroad on its own company map. There'd been water in it some time, though. The ditch was covered with what looked like a nice green lawn. Only as I approached, the lawn moved out of my way. "Eh?" said Leroy. "Yeah, it was a relative of your biopods. I caught one, a little grass-like blade about as long as my finger with 2 thin, stemmy legs." "He is where?" Leroy was eager. "He is let go. I had to move, so I plowed along with the walking grass opening in front and closing behind, and then I was out on the orange desert of Thule again." I plugged steadily along, cussing the sand that made going so tiresome, and incidentally cussing that cranky motor of yours, Carl. It was just before twilight that I reached the edge of Thule, and looked down over the gray Mare Chronium. And I knew there was 75 miles of that to be walked over, and then a couple 100 miles of Xanthus desert, and about as much more Mare Cimmerium. Was I pleased? I started cussing you fellows for not picking me up. "We were trying, you sap," said Harrison. "That didn't help. Well, I figured I might as well use what was left of daylight in getting down the cliff that bounded Thule. I found an easy place, and down I went. Mare Chronium was just the same sort of place as this, crazy leafless plants, a bunch of crawlers. I gave it a glance and hauled out my sleeping bag. Up to that time, you know, I hadn't seen anything worth worrying about on this half-dead world. Nothing dangerous, that is." "Did you?" queried Harrison. "Did I? You'll hear about it when I come to it. Well, I was just about to turn in when suddenly I heard the wildest sort of shenanigans." "What is shenanigans?" inquired Poots. "He say, je ne sais quoi," explained Leroy. "It is to say, I don't know what." "That's right," agreed Jarvis. "I didn't know what, so I sneaked over to find out. There was a racket, like a flock of crows eating a bunch of canaries.